Fast. We have another story for you. This one about Governor Kasich's plan for new state sales taxes. And political reporter Jim Heath gave me a long list, actually this long list of everything that would get an added tax. And Jim, it looks like they're taking the revenue has to come from somewhere approach, and it seems like everything's on here but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, well, I think they forgot about that. And I loved your reaction when I gave you that list, because that is the reaction that I think a lot of Ohioans are having of just how many things now could be taxed if the governor gets his way. He's trying to actually, Kristen, change the tax structure, new taxes on services, as you mentioned, big income tax cuts, but the plan is already running into what we call a giant political buzzsaw.
Wow.
The word realtor Sue Lusk-Leach uses to describe Governor John Kasich's proposed budget. She says if approved, it would increase consumer real estate fees on everything from the termite report to the home inspection to contractors.
I think the timing of it is critical because we're just coming out of this really down economic time in housing.
When we created the sales tax in the 1930s, all we really thought about were goods, but the bulk of the economic activity in the state now are services.
Kasich proposes cutting the state sales tax from 5.5% to 5%, but he puts a new tax on a long list of services. Taking your dog to get groomed? It's taxed. What about a haircut? It's taxed. Planning a date for Valentine's? Yep, it's taxed too. Do you download books, movies, or music? Tax, tax, taxed. Heading to the shoe to cheer on the Buckeyes? It's a tax. Cedar Point or Kings Island? Those rides will be taxed. Heading out to the bowling lanes? Yep, it's taxed.
He gets you coming, he gets you going. He gets you in your funeral casket, he gets you when you're born.
The sales tax debate started a war of words today between Ohio's Democratic and Republican Party chairmen.
This gives an overall $1.4 billion tax reduction to Ohio taxpayers.
Kasich says he knows there will be a lot of lobbying against it, but he says the sales tax expansion is fair.
People need to think bigger than their own little world here.
But Sue says real estate is a big world, and if costs rise due to a new sales tax, Ohio will lose.
If this goes through, does that make real estate in the state of Ohio less attractive to potential investors, homeowners?
Yeah, that is the question. Now, the governor says Ohio's economy has improved significantly the past 2 years. He's also fighting big oil for an increase on their severance tax. One thing is very certain. The governor is keeping everyone very busy as the debate over his budget begins. Live in the studio, Jim Heath, 10 TV News.
Tracking weather where you live.